Hello everyone, it's Christine from HollisHandsCreate, and today is Sunday, February 2nd. Happy Groundhog's Day. It's also my daughter's wedding anniversary, her 12th anniversary. So we always tease her about getting married on Groundhog's Day. They're going to do it again and again and again, and it's been 12 years, so they're doing pretty well. Let's see. Welcome to my channel. This is my channel about cross stitch and sometimes some other crafty endeavors, but primarily cross stitch. If you are a subscriber or a return viewer, thank you so much for coming back to visit with me, and I hope that you'll continue to come back. If you are new and have wandered into my channel, I hope that you'll stay and maybe find some things that are inspirational to you. And maybe you'll consider coming back and subscribing. But regardless, thank you to each of you who are watching. Let's see. I wanted to get back back to my end of the month review instead of the middle of the month. So I'm back after only about 3 weeks. I was here January 11th visiting with you. And but I really am going to stick with my plan that I kind of outlined in my last video, if you joined me then. And so therefore I want to come back at the end of the month, and it kind of gives my progress report of if I'm sticking to my plan. So here I am. Let's see, I've had some questions from the last video, and I thought maybe I would actually point out a few of the things that are behind me. I did have a question about the design that's in the small basket here. That is Bittersweet September from Blackbird Designs. And I just stitched it, mounted it on a flat board, and put it into a small tobacco basket. Let's see, below I had a question about this one. This is Folksy Thomas. He's a design from Teresa Kogut that's in the Hello Autumn book. And this one is the Autumn Fractor, which is from Plum Street Samplers. That was a birthday stitch for me a couple of years ago. The large one is Sleepy Hollow, which is from Glendon Place. I stitched that one quite a while ago, maybe like 2016, I think. Might have finished it in 2017. Just above my head is Away We Ride from Blackbird Designs. Right over my shoulder is also another Blackbird Designs, Feast of Friendship. And another Blackbird Designs, this is At First Cock Crow, which was also another birthday stitch. So there's just some that you can see. Over here in the corner is Teresa Kogut's Pernici Manor. And then there's just like, you know, kind of a whole wall. If anybody has any questions, I can, maybe one day I'll kind of pull the camera down and go through each of them one by one. I don't really change my wall behind me too much unless I'm pulling things down to go downstairs to display on the wall downstairs that I kind of change up for seasons. But anyway, for now, they kind of all stay behind me most of the time. So anyway, if I did not answer your question, because I did have several questions that were not necessarily related to the designs behind me, but were related to other things, and I tried to answer them as I saw the comment. If I missed your question, I apologize, and you know, shout me out again or send me an email to the address that's below in the description box, and I'll be happy to answer, you know, the best that I can. So what have I been doing the last 4 weeks besides stitching? Football, watching tons and tons of football. And if you've followed my channel for a while, you know that I'm from Kansas City, and I am a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan, and we are in our heyday right now. It's been a wonderful 7 years of winning. And I'm sure people are going, oh, you know, bleh, on you, you know, because everybody, we've gone from being, oh, how nice it is to, I guess, the villains. But you know what, that's okay. When you're winning, people have a tendency to not like you. And then in addition to football, I've been having some knee issues. So January 5th, I woke up and my right knee was swollen, and I was having some issues. And usually I can have one of these arthritic flare-ups and it'll last about a week or so. This one did not go away, so I did go to the surgeon last week, and looks like I'm going to be having this knee replaced. It's going to be a couple months down the road. I have it scheduled for, but I got a new grandbaby coming this next month that I got a trip to Italy to see, and that's going to be first, and then we'll worry about getting the knee taken care of after that. So other than that, we dug out of the crazy snow blizzard that we had. It's the only third time here in Kansas City. That was not fun because I had I think we identified about 68 packages that were stuck in the backlog that was created at the post office because of the storm and severe weather and the ice. And then there were a couple of holidays right in the middle of that as well for the Postal Service. The one for Jimmy Carter's funeral, the day of mourning, and then we had President's Day, or not President's Day, Martin Luther King Day right after that. So they were not catching up very quickly. And anyway, so it took a while. So I had a lot of very concerned customers messaging me quite frequently. But for the most part, I think the majority of those have now gotten to where they needed to be. And so anyway, that was taking up a lot of time as well, just answering messages about the Postal Service. But most importantly, I was trying to really do some stitching. So let's move on. Today's topics. I'm going to show you my WIP progress. I've got some finishes, some FFO goodies. Let's see. I wanted to show you some past FFOs and some Halloween decor. Halloween. I'm such a Halloween fan, and fall should be all year long. Valentine decor, and I'm going to show you some of that. And then I thought I would do a highlight on some Valentine's charts if you want to do some Valentine stitching. And specifically, I'm going to highlight Heart and Hands, Cecilia Turner. I've got a few purchases, some February plans, and I do have a giveaway. So, stay tuned, and hopefully you'll find something that interests you. So let's move right on. Okay, my thread a day. If you'll remember, I told you I was going to really try to focus on actually doing the thread a day. And the chart that I stitch on is monochromatic, which I thought would be easy for that thread a day. And the chart that I have is from Long Dog Samplers. It's called Paradigm Found. And I really like this chart a lot. I had, back when Jules designed the, oh boy, I'm totally drawing a blank on it. It was for COVID. And let me see. I keep my Long Dog Samplers just in a binder because they're usually PDF purchases, and so I can just download and put them in. Oh, Pandemic. That's what. She designed the one called Pandemic. Guess that, duh. And I had purchased it and downloaded it. It was going to start along with quite a few other people. And when I was on her site, I saw this Paradigm Found, and I really loved it more. So this is the one that I actually started. So I guess this was in 2020 or 2021. Again, Paradigm Found. I'm using, I picked Gentle Art Current. There's a pretty good view. Really gives you a good idea of the variegation in this thread. It's beautiful. One of my favorites from Gentle Arts. So that's the thread that I picked. And when I showed it to you in January, I said that I needed to go all the way to the top so that I could cut off, because I was working on a fat half of linen, which is 36 by, approximately 27 inches. So it's a big piece of fabric to wrangle. So I did that. I went all the way up to the top, and I was able to cut off that whole chunk at the top, which I was thrilled with. It's so much easier to work. So after I did that, got up to the top, I came back down to this big motif here up the side, and I didn't get a full 31 threads, but I did do 22 threads in January and got this big motif in. So now I've been kind of looking to see where I want to go. Do I want to go further to the side? I may do that. I may go further to the side so that I can then cut off the chunk down this side. But hopefully you can see that well. It's so tall, it's hard to get it all in there for you. But I really love it. It's beautiful. And I'm stitching this on Lakeside Linens pecan butter, vintage pecan butter, which is just one of my favorites. Absolutely beautiful linen. So I'm starting with that one because that's my thread a day. So it's something that I'm touching most every day. I'll admit, not every day. There were a couple of days that I actually put 2 threads in to make up if I didn't get to it, you know, the day prior. So then the next one that I touch on a weekly basis fairly regularly and will through June is my Friday night stitch with some friends that we all, well, most everyone stitches on a Hawk Run Hollow chart from Carriage House Samplings. And the one that I'm working on is the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. It's just a really cool chart. All of the Hawk Runs are really cool. But I have this one going for this first 6 months of the year. I'm on block 3. And I will show you where this one is going. Put this on this board. It'll make it much easier to show you. Okay. So here's my progress. So since I showed this to you last, I put the birds on the bird baths, and I started adding all of the white to the house, and I put in some more of the windows, and I added in, I think these are like strawberries. So there's the progress. The one thing about this chart that I love is the colors are just so vivid. I'm using NPI silks, and I'm stitching it on 40 count Old Gold by Fiber on a Whim. And it is just a really cool, just a cool chart, cool designs. Love Carriage House Samplings. The Barrick sisters, Kathy and Marty, they just, you know, have such a cool design and aesthetic to their designs. It's real folk arty. So that one is my Friday night. So it got 4, I believe, 4 Fridays. There were 5 Fridays in January, but one of them I didn't stitch with the groups. So we got 4 Fridays. Okay, so then I launched over in on January 1st to my Blessing Sampler. If you'll remember, I had a couple of options, and the one that I went with was from Birds of a Feather. It's the Sally Spencer sampler. There, I think you can see it there. I love this sampler. Another kind of quirky, you know, quirky sampler. And I finished my sampler on January 14th. And I've sat down and actually done pinning. So Sally is all pinned, and I need to take it up and now I'll order a frame. But she was stitched with the called for colors, I believe. I might have changed, I think I might have changed one, but I can't remember now. I'd have to go back and try to find my notes. But anyway, and she stitched on Picture This plus Heartland. and I think she turned out really good. I really like her. I think I showed you last time the change that I made. Here you would see Wrought by Sally Spencer. I put in the date here, 2025. Let's see if you can kind of see that. There you go, 2025 by Sally. And I put a little ampersand in here and put my name, Christine, and then her date, 1821. So I think she just turned out lovely. And I'm very excited to get her framed, and she's going to go on my wall of favorites downstairs in our front room. So, love her. So I guess, I hope, as a blessing sampler completion, that means that my needles are supposed to be blessed for the year. So here's hoping, right? And if you were stitching on a blessing sampler, I hope that you were able to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish in January. It was a good month to sit in and stitch, because I don't know about you guys, but it's been cold, cold, cold here. Okay. So my next thing, yes, the very next day on the 15th, if you'll remember, I wanted to do a small. And so I had picked February, one of the word plays from With Thy Needle and Thread. And this is my small I decided to do because I really tried to concentrate on some smalls last year, and I want to keep that up for this year. So I was very proud of myself. It took me 2 days to stitch, and then a couple of hours to finish. But here is my finish of the February wordplay. Now you will recognize, if you know this pattern, that I did change up the colors just a little bit. Here's the color palette that I used, and I changed out, I made the word love in Buckeye Scarlet. I changed, let's see, I'll kind of look at the original here a little bit. Oh, I did arrow in February in the, I used toffee, Gentle Art toffee. With these, I changed the words hearts, Cupid, sweetheart, and be mine to Old Purple paint. I made this key, let's see, I did it in Color and Cotton Bracken. Here, I wanted a silver key instead of a brown key. I did the word roses and Valentine, and I did that in Old Red paint. So I did make some changes, and I stitched this on 40 count mulberries, which is a beautiful fabric from Jay's X Stitch. She's a friend from Australia, and she does some beautiful hand-dyed fabrics, since I've had this one quite a while. In person, when you see it, it has just that kind of purpley glow to it. But anyway, I think it worked great. And I picked this, oh, good gravy, this fabric from, oh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. But anyway, they're a fabric company in Kansas. Oh, good gravy. Anyway, I picked that fabric, and then I actually took some rickrack that I had, some 1/4 inch rickrack, and I used tea bag to kind of vintage it up a little bit, and just applied it to the edging, and stuffed it with a combination of cotton fiber fill and walnut shells. So it has a little bit of heft to it, but not a lot. I love it, and I think it turned out great. And I'm not a professional finisher, but I think it turned out Really good. It's good for me. So those were my 2 finishes for January. So I was very happy to be able to say I finished a couple of things. Let's see. So since I just showed you some finishes, let me show you. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and I'll go through the rest of my WIP progress. And then I'm going to show you some more FFOs that I have. Okay, so I had mentioned in my last FlossTube that I had been asked by a friend if I wanted to join a stitch along for Blackbird Designs Humming of the Bees that started in January. And I said yes, of course, and I had this already kitted. It's a beautiful, beautiful chart. I had it kitted with the Vicki Clayton silk conversion, and this is how I store my bobbins. There's my little conversion sheet, and there's the bobbins. It fits right into my bag, and so they stay kind of all together there. And I'm kind of putting some of these things back in so they don't end up getting mixed up. I've done that before, and that's very frustrating. So I am stitching this on a 40 count linen from Tropical Stitches called Lucia or Lucia. And it's really a beautiful linen. I'm using the Vicki Clayton, of course. And this was the completed first assignment. I'm a bottom right-hand starter, so for me, I was doing like block 5 or something. So it just had this little corner and went straight up and then kind of over into the middle just a little bit. I hope you can see that. It's really hard to get the focus just right. But anyway, the colors and the silks just glide on this linen. I really am very happy with how that's looking, and excited to get to assignment number 2. Kind of put some things down here out of the way before I end up with everything crashing in front of me. Okay, next on the 25th. I had shown you last time, if you watched, that I had started on December 25th, or maybe it was in the middle of the night, I think. Between the 25th and 26th, I decided to start the Noel sampler from Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. So I decided this would be my 25th of the month stitching. And I'll show you what I did. I'm stitching this on 40 count sugar cookie, and it's a Wabi Sabi linen from Shakespeare's Peddler Kitten Stitcher. And what I had done for the 2 or 3 days that I stitched on it in December was I had done this border, this box, the deer, and these little trees. So what I did on the 25th of this month was I did the berry bowl, or the urn. I really think that's more like a berry urn. And very happy with that progress for the day. Really, really beautiful sampler. So I will work again on that come the 25th of February. These things are kind of right. And I'm using just the DMCs on this particular project. Then next, what did I have to do? Oh, I had to do my assignment on Dwelling Place, and I'm sure that you're like, oh, I've seen this a million times, and you have, and I apologize, but it's a big sampler, and so we cut it up, I believe, into 20 sections. So it's from Teresa Kogut. It's a beautiful sampler. We started this as a birthday start for one of my stitching friends, and resides in my Christy bag, Christy Crosshatch Quilts. And I stitched on this one for 3 nights. And here's my progress. And what I was able to do in those 3 nights was I was kind of like right in here on finishing off the grass. I got the rest of those animals inserted and the grass finished. It's supposed to be like Kentucky bluegrass, I guess. It's kind of a bluey color. I added in this motif here, about half of that squirrel, and I think I had, like, maybe it was down around here, so I brought the rest of this down into this corner so I could make sure that this was going to go over correctly. So I need to obviously put the stars, you know, the rest of the stars into the border and then bring it on over to here. And but I'm getting there. It's a really lovely sampler. So we have 4 more assignments left, and then we'll be done. I'll be glad to have this one finished and into the pile for framing. And after Dwelling Place, what did I do? Oh, I picked up Winter Moon. And I had started this on the winter solstice last year. So the 2023 winter solstice. Picked it back up this past December and thought, all right, I'm stitching on this and I got to get this thing finished. It's a lovely, lovely design from Paulette of Plum Street Samplers. And I did not iron this. I just finished working on it for this month on Thursday. Anyway, here's my progress. So what I did was, when I showed it to you last, I had gotten up to this line in the house and had everything down below, with the exception of maybe just a couple of bricks, just because I hadn't picked up that color. So I finished up those bricks, started working out, got the second layer, put on the outline of the roof. Can you see this? It's very light. The side outline of the moon and this chimney here. And so that I could begin, because there's a lot of just, you know, with those bricks, little chunks of fill-in that you do. So I did some outlining. The roof looks like it would be great for fill-in. It is for a few lines, but then you've got dormers that have to be put in there. So anyway, I made some good progress. Again, that was 3 evenings of progress. So as long as I'm touching it, as long as I'm getting it finished, I am going to be happy. No longer just leaving everything to sit in a bag for a year. Okay, and that takes us through all of my projects for January. And I will show you, since we turned the calendar page, and yesterday was February 1st. I had shown you last month that what I wanted to do when I went through my whips is I wanted to get some things finished, and I showed you a couple of things that I was going to pull out and work on. And so last evening, we were out during the day yesterday a little bit. I was so stir crazy. I had not been out of the house. When we went back, I had been out of the house 3 times in the month of January from the time that my knee flared up, which was like on the 5th. Twice to the market, so because I had the cart that I could hold on to as I was toddling through, and once to the surgeon. So surgeon's office. So anyway, I was dying to get out of the house. So we did do a little antiquing, and I'll show you a couple things that I picked up yesterday. But last evening we got home and I thought, all right, here I am. I'm getting this thing finished. So I started on Rejoice, Always Rejoice, which is by LaDDa. It's a beautiful pattern. And I did the word rejoice at the top. I had already had these 2 in this little bit of stem, and I had some of this stem work to about right here. So last night I put in the Rejoice, and I went up the side here, and I added some of the colors. My lighting is not, I don't know why it's not super great today. It's sunny out. I don't know. I've got my normal lights on. I hope you can see this okay. I'm stitching it on 40 count Butterscotch Baby by Wabi Sabi. Or it's a Wabi Sabi linen by Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler. And I left my thread and everything in there because I was working on this until about 1 o'clock this morning because I had too much iced tea yesterday and couldn't sleep. So I will pick this up again later this afternoon and hope to have this finished in the next few days. I am very excited to get this off the whip list. And that's the goal for this month. Things off the whip list. Okay. So now you're really, really fully caught up. Let me show you some FFO goodies. So you saw that I did some pinning with Sally Spencer. I did some finishing with the Wordplay February. And I went, when I was pulling out some of my goodies, I thought, you know what? In addition to getting this thing, this thing finished, I need to do some, I had like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I had at least 12 or 13 things that were in the to be finished pile. So I pulled out some and I sent some down to my finisher, Terry from the Old Needle Shop. And she got them finished really super quick and sent them back already. So I thought I'd share those with you. The first one is Lizzie Kate's Cricket. I had finished this last year in 2024, but I didn't actually have I had not snapped a picture of it. So when I put in my little, montage of finishes, I knew I was going to be short some pictures to show you, but this was one that I actually finished in 2024 as well. This is from the Simply Autumn Smalls chart, and she did a little flat fold, and I think it turned out just perfect. Just perfect. So that one will come out after a while. This one was part of my October Smalls month that I did, and this was from Sabrosa, and she finished it just as a pillow. And man, oh man, these pillows, I don't know how she gets them stuffed so well, but they're just gorgeous. So that was that one. And then I had started stitching some other littles that I wanted to do to go in. And this was the Bent Creek's Candy Corn of Mischief. But instead of doing the kit, which includes, I believe it's like a 10 count fabric and some pearl cottons, I did mine on a 40 count and used just cottons. And I sent her extra of the linen so that she could actually just wrap it around and do that on the back. And then she added this little orange pom-pom, and I think it's absolutely adorable. Can't wait to display that. The next one that I sent her was the Faded Flag from October House Fiber Arts. I stitched that this last year. And she used this kind of fabric on the back. And look at the rickrack that she used. Isn't that cool? I thought that was really cool. And then the pin that she put in actually has, can you see the little star charm? Isn't that just the sweetest finish? So I was very happy with that. And then from Stacy Nash, I stitched, this was from the Calling of the Seas. I wanted to stitch this little compass, and I happened to have some of this fabric, and so I sent that along with for Terry to use on the back, and so she did a little ornament for me. And the last one that I had sent to her this time was from Bent Creek, and it's Be Mine. Sweet little Valentine finish. This was easy. This was just a one-day stitch. And she's put on some of that kind of fabric and some braiding on the edge. And I asked for it to be like a little ornament. I've got a little wrought iron tree I'm going to hang it on. So she does a fantastic job. And while I can, you know, do pillows and things, she just, you know, she really spices things up and makes them so nice. So if you're ever in need of, you know, some finishing, I highly recommend Terry from the Old Needle Shop. Okay, let's look at some past FFOs and things for Valentine's. Since I ended with the Be Mine, and you're going to see what I'm adding into my decor for this year. I'm going to pull this forward, and I'm going to kind of just show you some things that I have finished, some things that I actually purchased because I just love it. Love using handmade decor and mixing it into different things. So not everything that I have is all cross-stitched, but you know. This I store separately, but it actually has some stripping on the back that's Velcro, and that actually then attaches to a grapevine wreath that I have that's in the shape of a heart. And this actually hangs down in the middle, but I didn't want to bring the whole thing up. I pull this off of it each year and store it separately, but this is a great transitional, you know, piece that goes from, you know, winter into February, which is still part of winter, right? But it goes from the snowmen into the love theme, and love is in the air. I believe it's either Country Cottage Needleworks or Little House Needleworks. I can't remember which one, but it's Love is in the Air. And this is just one that I had stitched and finished, and I had attached it to a board with some cotton batting underneath to give it a little bit of puff. And then, like I said, it just hangs in the center of the heart. So I really love that one. Let's see, I kind of rearrange these a little bit so they make sense as to what I'm doing here. Here's one that I actually did, oh, good Lord, long time ago. It's just a little wall hanging. I have a ton of Longaberger baskets. And I've been to Dresden before they sold Longaberger off. My friend and I went to Dresden 2 or 3 times to do baskets and go. We went for the tea. And anyway, I bought some of the Waverly fabric when we were there that matches a lot of the garters and things that came out for all of the feature club baskets. And it says, you know, love it's right in the fabric. And so did this little, I have a really good friend who, this was done when I lived in Pennsylvania still, but she did machine embroidery. And so I asked her if she could help me, and I assembled I assembled it all, but I took these center blocks to her, and she actually did that machine embroidery for me. And then I inserted it and put it all together, and just did some, like, you know, what I could do on my machine, you know, kind of like a stippling type quilting. And there you go. So I hang this up each year. I really love it. Simple, was a long time ago finish. Probably that had to have been done in probably, I don't know, 2010, 2011 maybe. So that always comes out. Here's another oldie finish, and if you've watched me for any length of time at all, you've probably seen this come out before. But this was done on a 28 count linen forever ago. It's out of an old Leisure Arts book, I think. It's like a seasonal book that had things from each of the seasons or the holidays. And it says, "May love's gentle ways bless all our days." And it's just a sweet little cherub. All that backstitch. But you can tell how long ago this was done. Well, quite a long time ago. And I just happened to find this silky fabric frame, probably, who knows, like Michael's or something like that. And it's just an easel back. And I just popped it in there for my, you know, my own finishing. And so that sits out. This one is a bent crepe, Find Your Way to Love. I stitched that, and I did send this to Terry, and she finished this for me in just one of those little Wilton tart pans. And it came back so cute. Love this one. I actually put this on one of those little easel holders. I don't have one behind me here, but it's a small one. So I actually just sit this into one of those little holders, little picture holders, instead of, you know, laying it flat or anything like that. And so it just sits up like that. Here is a, once upon a time, I used to do some primitive rug hooking. And this is one of the first things that I learned to do, was to make a little heart. Sandy, who used to own the old mill here in Liberty, which the old mill stitchery was located in that building, she also had a section in that building that was all for selling the wool and the canvases or the cloth for, and then she taught me. I actually asked her if I purchased my, you know, wool from her, would she let me come in a couple of days and sit, and she would teach me how to do this, and she did. And her husband made me my frame. So this was one of the first things, and we attached just like some simple, you know, kind of like a fishing twine, you know, wire at the top. It just has some uncut felted wool on the back, and I love it. It's just sweet. One of the next things that I have, I did not stitch. This was a gift from my good friend Trinka, and I think this is absolutely adorable. Isn't that sweet? And she did a great job finishing it too. Next, I just have a collection of little finished hearts. This is just some prim hearts. There's a maker that lives here in Missouri that I will go into her shop now and again and see what she has. I think that one, and then this one, that was a set of 3 hearts, you know, just prim hearts. And so I will put those into a bowl. This one I actually purchased from Maggie Bononomy. She uses a lot of like vintage fabrics and things, and just creates all kinds of fun little things that she has in her shop out in Lexington, Missouri. Her shop is called The Purple Turnip. You can follow her on Instagram. I think it's MB Turnips, TURNIPS. So I just throw that in. Here is, and I have the chart. I will show this to you. This is, I believe, by the Trilogy, which now is no longer in existence. They went out of business this last year. 3 designers made up the Trilogy. This was one that was called For Keeps. And it might have, when I show you the chart here in a second, it may have had the year here, but I put C&C because my husband's first name begins with a C. So, finished that one myself. Just did a little backer board with some fun Valentine chocolate box fabric, and then, you know, mounted this on another board, and then it just attached the 2. And again, this one is another one that sits in a little easel. And then one of my favorite people to buy goodies from, and I've shown you several of her things, is Suzanne from Parish Farm Girl. She's from Louisiana, And she just does fantastic work. She will do like old crazy quilts that she'll cut up, and she'll make all different kinds of things from. I have 2 of these hearts. Just beautiful. So that will go into a basket. She made this little one just with some vintage fabric, and then if you can see the work that she does, the handwork that she does is just gorgeous. So that, and then she made these, which I love. So this little heart says love. This one says be mine. And again, they hang on my little wrought iron hanger thing. Sweet, sweet little hearts. You can see the bead work that she does on the edging there, attached with some velvet ribbon. And then all this little ruched ribbon on the edges here. Look at that work. Isn't that beautiful? This one was made, or she had cut up a vintage linen hanky. And so you see some of the work that was on the hanky. And then she just hand stem stitched love on here. Very sweet, very sweet. So I buy some of her things now and again, and I will throw all that into, you know, a dough bowl or my trencher, or sometimes just a basket. Here's another old one that I stitched, I believe, back in 2018, maybe 2017. And this was kind of one of my very first attempts to actually finish something on my own after watching, you know, and being inspired by Priscilla and Vanna too. So I had just bought a box kind of thing from, I don't know, Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and painted it. I remember I had I got some craft paint and painted the front of the box, and stitched this is from, I think it's called Be Mine, from Country Cottage Needleworks. And I just stitched it and took some pink rickrack, and there you go. So anyway, it's cute. Never been just a huge, you know, Valentine stitcher. It's such a short time to display anything. Sometimes I think by the time I get everything out, it's time to put it all back away. And it's a little frustrating. This one, let me kind of popped. I don't have this fully sealed into this frame because it was a frame that I repurposed from something else. So, but it was a beautiful red color, or reddish pink color. Kind of reminds me of like Tennessee red clay. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting some glare. There we go. Oh, there. This was a design that my daughter bought the chart. It was a French chart. She bought it over in Italy and gave it to me, and then hounded me until I stitched it. So I stitched it. It has all of these little lovebirds and kittens, and the frame matched it perfectly. So we pulled whatever was in here out, and I put that in, and it hangs. Or actually, it's an easel back. Oh no, it's not. It hangs. So that one goes out. So that's it. That's all I have in my past Valentine finishes, and some. Now that's my homemade, handmade, you know, decor. I have a lot of vintage Halloween pieces and things that I actually then will disperse some of these things, you know, throughout, and kind of create little vignettes and that kind of thing. But that's all my handmade stuff. Thought I would share those with you. And since I was talking about some of them that we had the charts for, let's look at what you can stitch if you want to stitch some Halloween stuff. I thought I would show you. Cecilia Turner, who is the designer behind Heart and Hand, and also was one of the designers for the trilogy. She focuses a lot on love. Clearly the name Heart and Hand Kind of gives you a bit of a clue. So I thought I would show you just some of hers. A lot of these are quick little stitches if you want to do something, you know, kind of small and quick. She has a whole series of these, the Bird in the Hand series. And here's the one for Valentine's Day. I'm just going to run through these fairly quickly. Here's from her Imprints series, Love and Heart. She has a whole series of these whirligigs, and there's the Love whirligig. They finish up really nicely in her heartware that she has. Which we do carry some of that. I think I need to re-up and get some more of the little tarts, little pottery tarts that she has. Here's part of the Merry Making Mini series, and these are the ones for Valentine's Day. Here's Yay for Love. Most of these also come with, like, so this has got a little button that comes with it. That's the button that you see right here, the little heart. Then there's Love Blooms, which if you'll recognize this, it matched this little gift. Very sweet. Then there's the Floral Hearts. I really like this one. I think it's very sweet. And this is 30 by 30. So quick and easy, quick and easy. Again, comes with the beads. Here is You Plus Me. This is an oldie. This is from 2017. You Plus Me. Here's another from the Merry Making Minis. Love You More. I like this one a lot as well. Then there's the long-legged birds. There's the Valentine bird. And this one I think came out, yeah, 2023. So this is Tweet Hearts. So we got some more of those long-legged birds. Aren't they cute? Tweet Hearts. Then I'm sure you're familiar with her Tiny Town series. And here's the big hearted Tiny Town. And then probably one of the things that she's, you know, best known for too were some of the things from the trilogy. This is a favorite. When they announced that they were going to sell out all the rest of the charts and let everything, you know, end, I responded to the shop email and I purchased quite a few things. And this was one of the kits that I got for the shop. And this is You Are My Love Story. And this is an actual full kit. And Cecilia was 1/3 of the trilogy. But she's really known for her collector's hearts. And so I just pulled a few to come up and show you. Here is the 2022 collector's heart. And they come, some fully kitted, some partial kits. It just kind of depends on what she includes. This particular one was linen and buttons. Here's the 2023 collector's heart. This was super popular. A lot of people love this one. And this one came with the button, the silk, or no, the cotton. It was stranded cotton from Cottage Garden Threads, and the linen. Last year's 2024 collector's heart. This one came with the button and the linen. And then this year's collector's heart, the 2025, is Love Who You Are. And it comes with the linen and the beads, buttons. That's a good one too. And then this last year at market, she decided, because she's not going to revive all of the old kits, that she would do a book though, and feature some of those old kits. So it's called Mementos of the Heart. And so if you can't find, you know, some of those kits, you've got a good chance of maybe, you know, getting something out of this book. She has, let's see, I thought maybe she might, so the 2002 heart is in here. I'm going to show you this without trying to show you the pattern. There's the 2002. The Love is in the Air, 2006. Oh, and then she did one that was actually just called Kindness. That's really pretty. It makes a cool drum. The 2008 Collector's Heart, 2010, 2011, 2013. Yeah. So there you go. So that would get you some of those older retired ones that she's not going to put back out anymore. But Mementos of the Heart. So I thought that was kind of fun to really, it's amazing how many heart designs that she has come up with, and I'm sure will continue to come up with. If you are not a big, you know, I don't know, heart and hand fan or whatever, I don't know many people who are not, there's a few other designers. This is the one I was telling you that I'd stitched, or I showed you I stitched from the trilogy for keeps. I love it. That one is still, I still have a few of those left. We won't be able to get those anymore. And then Primrose Cottage Stitches has come out with obviously quite a few. There's the Lovebirds. This is from 2022. This is a new one this year. Home Sweet Home. This one is new from this year, Valentine's Day Alphabet. One more of their quilt series, Valentine's Day Quilt. And part of their Quaker series, there's the Valentine's Day Quaker. Here's from JBW Designs. This is a book called My Heart to You is Given, and it's a collection of hearts. Let me look. I'm going to see how many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 designs in this book. This one, 2024. So last year. So there's a sweet little book that you could get that has some tiny little hearts and some, Judy is the queen of this, the most delicate looking, you know, almost looks like filigree, right? Stitching. So that's a beautiful one. There's a set called Be My Valentine from Madame Chantilly. You see those? So there's 4 different ones you could stitch from this chart. Then there's part of that Madame Chantilly Celebrate series, which has I don't want to call it the tower, whatever you want to call that thing. So she's got all the ones that are decorated for the holiday, and this is the one that's Celebrate Love. Like those galvanized tier trays. So that's love. Then the Artful Offerings has Love is Patient, Love is Kind. Sweet little bunnies. And then Artful Offerings has the Love Sampler. You can do a couple different, see she's pulled that out as well. New from Twin Peak Primitives, Projection of Love, 2025. Monochromatic stitching. And there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 designs of this book. So a lot of these are really nice because you can do, you know, several different things for the price of one chart. We have started, in the shop, featuring or purchasing the designs to sell in the shop to you from Cherry Hill Stitchery and Deanna Carter. And so she came out with Be My Valentine. So there's two, Be Mine and then Valentine. And she also did the Cupid sampler. Love that. This reminds me a little bit of like a Just Nan band sampler. So anyway, there's some charts featuring love if you want to stitch some of those. Okay, let's move on. Not too much left to do here. I've got a few purchases I wanted to show you I think you might love, and I'm going to share one of them with you and as the giveaway, and then my February plans, and I'll let you go because it's almost an hour. Let me show you a couple things that I did pick up from the Stitchery, all the way from the UK. Nikki Franklin, who I have to blame Sean, the Periwinkle Stitcher, for my obsession now with Nikki Franklin. I purchased this. Look at that. Oh, I love this. So I hope to be able to get this finished and displayed for this summer. And this one also at the beach. I love, love, love this. And these kits come complete with, you know, the linen and everything in them. And I actually have the fabric paints to do fabric painting. So I'm very happy to try getting back into some of this embroidery and fabric painting and things. So I got those two things from the Stitchery. You can go to their website, the Stitchery, or you can, she has an Etsy shop as well, so you can purchase through there as well. Then the Wishing Thorn, Birgit Tolman, Ann Davies, Sampler 1873. I really love this. And these are PDFs, so they are printed, the front page is printed in color, but it does make it a little bit more difficult to see, but it's a really beautiful sampler. And another spring sampler from the Wishing Thorn is Clogwin in Spring. I love this too. Really, really pretty. So I bought those two things. I'm part of the Ozark Mountain Stitchers group, and one of the ladies, when they do Small Business Thursday, had posted she's starting to make bags, and she had posted this bag, and it's Teresa Kogut fabric, very reasonably priced. She's just getting started, and I, you know, thought that I had brought the paper along with it, so I'd have her shop name, and I don't. So what I'll do is I'll put her information down in the description box, because her bag was extremely well priced. I mean, she's just getting started, so you can give her some love if you'd like. And then my favorite, Tara, StarryOwlStitchery. Oh, look at this Love Blooms bag. I have an alarm set every Sunday for when her new bags for the week come out, and I was very lucky to get one last week because my alarm went off, and it took me a few minutes because I wasn't somewhere where it was easy to jump in and see, and I got very lucky and was able to snag one before they were all gone, because it usually takes only about 10 minutes and everything is gone. So this is going to be my new put everything in for Valentine Smalls and Valentine Stitching bag, which right now I have in this little bag from So Much to Love, but this is a really small bag. And so some of the bigger things just don't fit in here very well. So I think I'm going to switch it to this bag. So excited about that. And yesterday we were out and about, and my husband actually, I spied this one and came and said, oh, you need to look at this booth. I got another machine, another small machine, and this actually works. This is an operable machine. It's an old Singer made in Great Britain. Singer Manufacturing Company. This thing is heavy. This is actually like a wrought iron, like an iron or cast iron bottom to it, and very sturdy. So I messaged my friend Kathy and said, "You have this one?" She's like, "Yes." And I said, "Oh, I love that it's not just all plastic." And she said, "Oh yeah, very sturdy." So it was a really good price, and I was very excited. So I'm going to add this to my small machine collection. And so I was happy about that. And then my husband, who really was looking out for me yesterday, said, "Okay, I'm buying this sign for you. I suffer from MPD, multiple project disorder." How many of you out there also suffer from MPD? And if you feel like you suffer from MPD, I have a second sign just for you. So if you would like one of these signs, they're just like a tin, a tin sign. It has a little, hanger on it, little twine kind of, hanger on it. Just leave me a comment that tells me why you suffer from multiple project disorder, or maybe what your multiple projects are. Are they all cross stitch? Are they sewing, quilting, wool applique? Just something about suffering from MPD. And I will send you your very own sign. Wasn't that so nice of him to look out? He said, "There's two." He goes, "You could give one away." He goes, "Because I have a feeling you're not the only one." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." So anyway, that's the giveaway for this time. I'll be back hopefully at the end of this month. And I'm going to continue working on, to finish my Rejoice, Always Rejoice. After that, I will be going to another whip to continue working. I showed you this last month as one of my goals, and that was to work on the Happy Heart sampler from Birds of a Feather. Another one that's been, languishing in a project bag for too long. And this is all I've done. So it will come out after I finish Rejoice, Always Rejoice, and I'd like to put at least a week in on this one if I can, but I still, remember, I had carrying forward, I still have Dwelling Place to work on, and I have Humming of the Bees to work on, and Winter Moon. So, because those are going to keep getting their progress until they're finished. So, but I want to work on this one as well, Happy Heart Sampler. See how far I can get going on that one. And let's see, after that, I have one more, and this one will go into my sampler spring. And this is Mrs. Campbell. So she's going to fit into here as well. Get a couple of days on her this month. It'd be great. It's a bummer that it's only 28 days this month. But then I'm going to continue working on her through sampler spring as well. And this is all I have. She's being stitched with the DMCs on a Victorian Motto 40 count or 46 count maybe. It might be 46 count linen, I believe. Let's see if I got my project card in here. Yes, it's on a 46 count shadow from Victorian Motto. Beautiful. So she's going to get some love this month as well. Okay. I will try to probably pick a small, probably a Valentine small, just to throw in. Again, something that I can finish and add to my Valentine decor. And we'll see. Like I said, it's only 28 days, so I'm going to have to sit and kind of map things out and make sure I can get everything done that I want to get done without shortchanging anything. But my first goal, finish Rejoice, Always Rejoice. If not finished, get major project progress on Happy Heart Sampler, and maybe where I can actually finish it next month. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed the highlight of the heart and hand charts. Everybody do well. Get some fun stitching in. if you got plans for Valentine's, I hope you enjoy that. Valentine's is actually not my favorite holiday. It's nice to, you know, but we can go out to eat dinner anytime we want. It's just nice to, you know, maybe spend a quiet evening together. We've never been ones for like a real big to-do at Valentine's. Maybe we were before we had kids. I don't know. My daughter will be 35, so it's hard to even remember. She turns 35 this month on the 22nd, so it's hard to even remember before kids what you did. But if you're got some plans, I hope you enjoy and have fun and enjoy this month. You know, next Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. My husband's team is the Philadelphia Eagles because he's from Philly. I'm from Kansas City. So we went through this dilemma 2 years ago, and it happened again. This time we're not going to stay home by ourselves because, you know, one of us was a little cranky when the other one won last time. So this time we're going to go. We have some really good friends who live a couple hours south of us, and they always have, there's a big party every year. So we're going to go down there and have people around us. So that'll be fun. I have to say, you know, go Chiefs. I got my Arrowhead on. I always put it on in August when they start preseason, and I don't take it off until they lose. And hopefully they won't lose, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, have fun. Remember to create every day, and I'll see you again in 3 or 4 weeks. All right, bye-bye.